Hello, and welcome to MG's Tech Talk, Episode 7, Mixing Tips and Dispensing Guns. Let's start with the 25 ml dual cartridge. Start by removing the lower lock cap to open the nozzles. This packaging is used both for adhesives and potting compounds in 1:1 mix ratios. On the other end of the cartridge, we have a plunger that dispenses parts A and B through the nozzle. We can easily attach mixing tips over the nozzles, which mixes the two components together as we dispense. To do this, line up the ridge on the tip with the notch on the cartridge and twist into place. We can now simply dispense the product without the need to measure or mix the two components. Next, let's look at the 50 ml cartridge. Unlike the 25 ml cartridge, this cartridge requires a dispensing gun for use. Using our 8DG-50-1-1, we start by loading the pistons into the gun simply by lining up the tapered end into the center of the gun and sliding the pistons all the way in. With the top hatch lifted up, slide the back end of the cartridge into the gun, lining up at the notches. Then clamp the hatch down to lock the cartridge in place. There are two options of mixing tip for this cartridge, which differ in terms of length, nozzle diameter, and number of elements. As we demonstrated in our second Tech Talk video, general bonding tips and tricks, you must first bleed off some material to properly prime both components so you get the correct mix ratio. Our largest size for 1:1 cartridge is the 400 ml. To use this, we first must remove the metal pin at the top, unscrew the cap, and remove the plug to open the nozzle. A special mixing nozzle, 8MT-450, is required for this cartridge. To attach, slide the cap over the mixing tip, then screw over nozzle to lock in place. 8DG-400-1-1 is the dispensing gun for this cartridge system. To load, push the trigger forward and pull the pistons all the way back. Load the cartridge into the gun, then push the piston snug into the back of the cartridge. Like with the 50 ml size, bleed some material first to prime both components, ensuring you get the correct mix ratio. You can now quickly and easily pot units with the dispenser. Finally, for 2:1 systems, we have a 450 ml cartridge. Start by removing the cap, removing the red plug, then attaching the mixing nozzle the same way as the 400 ml cartridge by sliding the cap over the nozzle and screwing into place. 8DG-450-2-1 is the dispensing gun for this cartridge system. Load the cartridge into the gun, push the piston snug into the back of the cartridge, and you're ready to pot.